Wardy, who also works in for Gold Star. I'm saying it because I really do believe that Tyson Fury could win the fight, but it would be boring.
Do you think he needs to keep him on the outside and use his reach?
It would have to do that. It would have to do that. But the thing about it is this: what Tyson Fury does so brilliantly, he did it so brilliantly in the third Deontay Wilder fight, is when he feints, he double jabs, right? And I think he got taken away to think, right, I'm the bigger man, I'm just going to show you what time of day it is. But he was with a other guy that could suck that up. And he did suck it up. But, you know what, because I think it'd be sacrilege if we don't get Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, this was my next question. It's like, look, they're the two biggest names in British boxing, you know? Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Who wins that fight?
Right now, Anthony Joshua. Right now, Anthony Joshua.
Is it because Tyson's coming off a loss?
Yeah. And not only that, but I really do enjoy this Anthony Joshua that I'm seeing right now, with who he's linked with Ben Davison. The irony is that Ben Davison used to train Tyson Fury. But I'm enjoying seeing this guy here. I'm really, this Anthony Joshua here, I like this Anthony Joshua. I really do like him.
Okay, well, I hope we do get to see that fight, you know? Look, you've been absolutely amazing in terms of, you know, your analytics, in terms of the heavyweight boxing division. You're, you know, a renowned historian in the game. You've got bags of knowledge. I want to go back in time to when you was actually boxing, you know? Seen a few of your fights, and one of the most exciting fights I saw of yours when you was fighting David Walker. God, that was a fight. Talk to me about that fight, because for those of people that don't know, there was like three knockdowns, and both of you got sort of knocked down. But talk to me about that fight. Talk to me about that night.
You know what? I say this a lot to people, and I'm saying everything is about championing life. You can put so much emphasis in, I'm going to be champ. I've got to be. Like now, I can be really open and honest about it. I know that I massively underachieved as a boxer, but that was majorly because I didn't have that real fire inside my belly. Because I've been very fortunate in life to have a good network of people. Like Tundi Ajayi always says on the fight, I got a crazy black book, and it's even more crazy now. I got you in there as well now, right? But I'm saying, like, I got a crazy black book where I know everybody. I was always that guy as a young kid that, if you want something, come to Spencer, no matter what it was. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to go on holiday. Talk to Spencer, he's got a link to get cheap holidays. You know what I mean? I want a new car. Talk to Spencer. I want a video recorder. Talk to anything, caster, anything. I was always that kid. And with that comes price tags you earn. So you're wheeling and dealing and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? I think now when I look back now as I'm getting older, I wish that I had better infrastructure. I'm glad that I'm talking to you because you're a property guy. We can sort out something off the camera,
Maybe.
right? Yeah, right. So when you're that way inclined, the real oomph or desire weren't really there because I could do amazing things in the gym. I mean, amazing things. And I'm not saying it to blow. But go speak to the old pros that you spar. Go speak to Rinky Wright. Go speak to Howard Eastman. Go speak to, there's loads of guys. Richard Williams was a fantastic player. Like, but I realize now that I was actually a gym fighter, right?
What does that mean?
Meaning that I could perform in the gym, but I would never really perform in the spotlight. Certain times I was performing in the spotlight, certain times I wouldn't perform in the spotlight.
Why is that? What's the difference?
I'll tell you it's the occasion would play heavily on it. And like, I remember like before certain fights, I'd break down in tears. I remember like, my best friend, Edmund Clotty, everyone calls him Country. I remember I was up, it was like my first title fight was against a guy called Gary Logan, who's like one of my best mates, really mad fighter, right there, against a guy called Gary Logan, right, for the Southern Area title, middleweight Southern Area title. And I'm in I would listen to a certain gospel song in my house to get me hyped. Or I was by the Winans or something, but it would get me hyped, like, yeah, we're gonna go do this. And I remember being in my bedroom. This is the song Shadowboxing, and I played it and I started crying. I was crying uncontrollably. I was just crying and crying and crying and crying and crying. And my mum comes up and she said, "What's the matter with you? You're gonna be good." And then she phones my mate Country, and he comes over. And he, "Come on, man, what's the matter? Come on, we're gonna do this. It's you. You're the spirit." That's what it was called me then. You're the spirit. You're gonna do. And I was just crying uncontrollably. So I realized, like, with boxing, sometimes you gotta be detached from the dangers of the sport. Yeah. And I don't think I was really detached from the dangers of boxing. I'm not just talking about the physical danger, I'm talking about the mental danger. I wasn't detached from it. I was fully aware of the dangers. And it was also like, with anything that you're going after in life, if you're going after it, but you're going after it half-hearted, because I was that guy, I always used to get girls, right? I'm saying I always used to get the prettiest girls I would get. I mean, I always had flash cars. I always had those things. And it wasn't through the attributes of boxing, right? People thought it was from the attributes of boxing, but it actually wasn't from the attributes of boxing. And it was like, when you're that face, like, I was a name from secondary school. Everybody knew, Spencer's the guy. So I've always had that. So, and if I look at guys who really made it, they weren't on the ones. They had something to really, really fight for. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, when I fought Dave Walker, I remember that was 5 million people watched that on BBC, right?
It won fight of
the year. Yeah, it was
fight of the year.
Fight of the year. And me and Dave Walker are really good friends. My mom passed away 2 years ago. And let me just say this before anything. Dave Walker came to my mom's funeral, right? And he brought my old boxing club, Lynn AC club captain, Harry Senior. He brought Harry Senior. Harry Senior, he had a really bad stroke, right? And he brought Harry because he's kind of like Harry's unofficial carer, right? And he brings Harry Senior there. Harry's at there, and everybody came to my mom's funeral. I mean, everybody. Seriously, everybody came to my mom's funeral. Former world champions came, current champions. It was mad. I mean, ex-footballers who are big stars. It was mad, the amount of people that came to my mom's funeral. But Dave Walker came to my mom's funeral. And this guy, when he came to my mom's funeral, he helped tidy up. He was in the kitchen serving food, all those kind of things. It's like, so me and Dave's been friends. I was looking at that and I'm saying, look at this, how crazy things are, Dave. Because like 20 years prior to that, me and you were literally, and I mean literally, trying to kill each other. You know? And, you know what I mean? Dave had his open battles, or which he's had his own demons that he's battled and all the rest of it. But on those things, it's like, that was such a good fight. I remember knock him down in the first round. At the end of the first round, it was like, if I was 20 seconds or 10 seconds earlier, he'd been knocked out. And he gets up and he's gone. And he's trained by Robert McCracken. Imagine we was talking about Robert. He's trained by Robert McCracken, right? He comes out second round, he tries to stick it on me and I catch him again. I hit him with a right uppercut, left hook, and he goes over from that again. And I think, right, you're done.
You actually jumped on the ropes, didn't you?
Yeah. I thought, you're done now. You're done. And you know, even more so, like, anybody tell you in boxing, like, when you hit somebody, you can feel a little shock in your hand, a little shock, like a funny feeling, like a little electric shock in your hand. That's when, and he got up. Fair play to it, right? Then we're into round 3, and then end of the round, he knocks me down with an overhand right. Then I get up, right? And then he comes out and he throws out a barrage of punches. I remember the referee Lee Cook stopped the fight. And I was like, what, are you stupid?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I'm going to be real with you. Because in my head, I'm saying, all right, I'm on the ropes, he's throwing shots at me. And I'm saying to him, because I used to do this in the gym.
I was really impressed by you at that stage because you were slipping and sliding. He wasn't hitting you. He wasn't hitting you anything clean.
You know what? I'm not complaining about that because that fight is part of history. And like, if I won that fight, I don't think people were talking about how it is. You know what I mean? Because it was one of those ones. And when it's on fight, I said, what are you doing? Because in my head, I know, like, someone's throwing shots at you. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to clear my head and watch. I'm going to come back on you. Because I said, then I'm just going to throw a burst back on you and you're going to know it. But the referee don't know that. The referee's thinking, right, you're not that. Dave Walker's a house fighter. You know what I mean? Dave Walker, they're one who they're pumping all the money to. BBC was pushing him as a big star, right? And I'm here upsetting the apple cart. So it is what it is. But you know what? There's no finer person to say